Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video in what's probably going to be a very short video. I suspect only 6-7 minutes. It's Cash Cows round 12. There are only 2 guys in the negatives for break even, 2 guys in the tens, and 6 other guys that are in the below 20 range. And 2 or 3 of them are just actual non-rookies. So that just shows how bleak this is. Injuries, buys, guys that are playing now as subs potentially, suspensions as well. They're all just shucking it out the door with cash cows, and yeah, so we are pretty much dead. But for cash cows. But before we jump into this short video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this recap. Well, not recap, the cash cows. So Richards was going to be the number 1 guy, but he's now injured for 5 weeks. Basically, he'll come back. He potentially comes back into the side, but he potentially doesn't even come back into this Collingwood side now after when he's not in the moon boot, because they'll have Jamie Elliott back. They'll probably have the likes of a Jordan De Goey back by then. Tom Mitchell. I know that these guys are all sort of different position. A lot of them are midfielders. But you start to move like a Finn McRae forward or someone else there. You start to get 3 or 4 other guys in. I don't even know if he comes back. Toby McMullen came off the bench and played as a small forward. And he came off as a sub, put up a 65, now on the bye. McAuliffe, I think he's one of the best ones now that they have injuries galore down at Richmond. Who else went? And also with Collingwood, how shocking it's going to be, and how we're going to talk about, I think, Lockie Sullivan as well. Scotty Pendlebury just got ruled out within the last, I would say, 25 minutes. This just probably shows you the time of recording. That probably more puts pressure on, not pressure, but more job security on guys like Harvey Harrison, Lockie Sullivan, etc. Kane McAuliffe, he's out. He's not out. And he's probably the guy that's going to get more increased minutes as more Tigers guys go down. Bolton concussed, even though he was not really running as much of a midfield role. And I don't know if Dusty can hold up in the midfield. So I think Kane McAuliffe gets more midfield time. Good for those that have him. Joel Frazier, you have Ed Richards out with a concussion. You've got, who else? Libba's not back yet. So he could even get, I don't expect him to get midfield minutes, but he may get wing minutes, but he's also on the half back, so maybe he doesn't get the lockdown role anymore. Hopefully he just does well, as he's been doing well, averaging sort of 60. Biggie's on the bye, but not even playing. Logan Morris on the bye, not even, will play probably when he comes back, but not going to bring in those guys. Harvey Harrison, I think, is also a really good get at this point. He's probably a guy that I'll look at, given Richards is out. I think he probably doesn't play as a sub now that he is now with Pendlebury down, with Jordan De Goey out, Mason Cox, who else? Joe Richards as well. I mean, how many guys left do they physically have? I just don't see him not being in the best 22. Did I word that right? He's going to be in the best 22 is what I'm trying to say. Voss, don't see him playing. Hasn't played in, 2 weeks now? Something like that. Let me check. Hasn't played in didn't play last week, did play the week before because we're heading into round 12. But don't expect him to play. Revel's on the bye. Outside of that, he's probably actually a really good pick. Just even though he's averaging 55, you're just getting a guy playing. McEntee, Angwin, Nick Hind as well. He's just come out the blue and scored 110. And he was one of the guys I mentioned in the intro that he's somehow got a really low break even. I mean, mostly because he's been sub and playing sort of these weird roles. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4. I think he might have even... Was he sub in the last game as well? He's been sub 4 times already out of his 9 games. And averages 50. If you take out those sub games, I think he's got, 36, 58. So that's 88, 94. 181. 230. 340 from 5 games, which is an average of almost 70, 68 average. So... not a good pick, but he's still a forward that's averaging in the 60s, so he's playing. Charlie Dean should stick in, I would think, should hold just because of all the injuries. Lockie Sullivan, I think, is another guy that you can grab up as well. He's been playing pretty well and should get increased minutes, especially with Pendlebury out and De Goey not playing as well. So I think he should get increased midfield minutes. So I think their midfield could honestly be Dacos. Dacos, Cripps, Sullivan, and Harrison could be their main midfield mix. That is how weak it is at the Collingwood Football Club at the moment. So yeah, expect Bont to just go crazy. Finn McRae, also another one to reference as well, given he should be playing and he could potentially have midfield minutes as well. So yeah, he's another one to look at. 324k. Do you really want to go back there though? So yeah, when did they play? Because that could be a big question. When do they play? They play on Friday. So that could actually be a decent discussion point, given Port Adelaide and Carlton. I don't think anyone are really looking at that game tomorrow night, other than Jordan Sweet, which we expect to be out. I don't think anyone's looking at that game. So yeah, I think that looking at the Collingwood game and seeing who's sub out of McRae, Sullivan, and Harrison, if they are sub, will be an interesting sort of thought to go with your rookies. But yeah, just crazy, just mayhem down at Collingwood, especially in their mid-forward stocks. Ethan Phillips, I don't think plays. David Swallow, another interesting one to look at. 372k. I just think that he's going to have some good games and some bad games, so I probably wouldn't go there, and I'd go for a guy that has probably better job security in one of the Collingwood guys. And then we sort of just get down here, and Lloyd Johnson, I mean, he's playing, but he's not really fancy relevant as a small forward. He just doesn't have the role. Then we get into a lot of these guys down here. And Toby Conway may play, I've heard, may play as that number one solo, but also they're saying that Stanley may get up, so watch that space. Lockie Cowan provided last week, but I don't think he'll do that again. Loman's on the bye. Will Parker and Ed Allen are both potentials to stay in the side, but I don't think they will. I don't think they'll play a prominent role. As I think one of them may even... Ed Allen might get a full game, which will be interesting, but again, you can just wait on them, I think. McKercher on the bye, and I think he's still TBC, so I don't think he'll be back. Steely Green was all right, but it was off the subbers bench, so he still hasn't gotten a really low break even, and his job security isn't strong enough. And that's basically already into the guys that are, as you see here, that haven't played. So yeah, there really isn't no one that you can look at and say, oh, I can get that I can really get for cheap, and the break even's going to be in my favor, etc. So yeah, just a crazy round, I guess. Of injuries, also heading into the bye round, losing the North, GWS, Brisbane rookies that we had. Sydney really didn't have any rookies and doesn't look like they'll have any rookies anytime soon. But all of those sort of rookies there, especially, just a lot of rookies, especially out of North Melbourne that we lose. And also, I mean, Brisbane have a lot of their forward rookies there in Morris, Revel, and Lohman. All out. But anyway, that is the video there, and I will see you guys in the next one, which will be the trade targets. And I honestly don't know who people will be trading in, trading out, etc. as there's been a crazy round for injuries on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday so far. But anyway, I'll see you guys in that video. Bye, guys.